Okay, so I'm going to revisit this subframe one more time. It never did settle down. It's making popping noises like crazy and it's annoying. Still don't think it's a safety problem. But what I'm going to try to do is do an alignment on it. The manual doesn't talk about it very much. It says there's special alignment sleeves that you can buy and use to align this thing so it doesn't pop. But it doesn't give you any instructions on how to use it. And I checked around online, and the sleeves that I bought, I believe, are basically the same thing as what I would buy from Mazda for the alignment. So what the plan here is, I'm going to loosen all 4 mounts plus the engine mount, so 5 different fasteners on the subframe. I'm also going to loosen the control arms, and I'm going to loosen the bolts for the brackets on the sway bar. So that's the subframe mount bolts, the rear engine mount, both lower control arms, and the sway bar bushing brackets. I'm going to loosen all that up. Then I'm going to remove one of the spacers and remove all of those washers. I don't know if I can really show you, but if you can see the mount up there, well, I'm having a hard time seeing it. So yeah, right there. You'll see I have 3 washers there. I added those to make up the space for the spacers that I added, the sleeves. So I'm going to remove all those. I'm going to leave one of the spacers in there, loosen everything up, and then I'm going to retighten in order of the subframe first. Going to tighten it down first. Then I'm going to tighten the rear engine mount, and then I'm going to tighten the 2 control arms, and then lastly I'm going to tighten down the sway bar bushing brackets. That is the procedure that, as I understand it, is what I was supposed to do to get this thing aligned, if you will. I doubt if it's going to make any difference, but I'm going to try. It can't be worse. It can only get better because it's really bad right now. Putting those washers and those spacers in did not make it better. It made it worse. That's why I'm doing this. If it hadn't made it better, I'd just live with it. All right, so that's what I'm doing today. So let me get started. So I've got everything loosened at this point except for these guys. So I need to loosen these, remove these washers, and remove one of the spacers, one of the sleeves, and then I'm gonna torque down the subframe first, get it stable, and then the engine mount, then the control arms, then lastly the sway bar bushings. But these have come loose slightly. It doesn't feel like they were at 80 foot-pounds anymore. So the addition of the washers probably loosened it over time because they probably either compressed or they bent or something. So I'm going to be removing those. I think that's what has to be done to have any chance of this being solid again. So let me get this done. I've got the first one out, the driver's side, and you can see there's my 2 spacers. So I'll be removing one of those, and I'll be removing all of the washers. Put 1 spacer back in. I think that's okay to do. You'll notice that I've got a floor jack holding up the cross member in the center, so that if I wanted to remove both of these at the same time, I could. It wouldn't be a problem. So, all right, so that's all I'm doing. I'm just removing the washers and one of the spacers, and we'll put this back in, and I'll snug it up but not tighten it, so that I can kind of move stuff around. After I get these back in loosely, I'm going to shake the subframe and try to see if it can settle into a spot. If it moves and settles into a spot, that's my best bet. So let me give that a try. I've got the front subframe bolts tightened in, screwed in, and they're loose. So now I'm going to lower the subframe and then try to move it around to get it into a stable location, and then I'm going to tighten everything back. So here we go. I'm going to lower this down and get it out of the way. So now I'm going to get under there and grab it and move it around and see if it doesn't settle into a position, and I'm going to tighten everything back. Out the jack stand holding it up, the weight of the entire weight of the subframe was on the mounting bolts, and it made it almost impossible to move. So I decided to jack it up just a little bit, just to remove the weight off the bolts, and then I was able to move it just a little bit. It didn't move hardly any, but so it's in the position that I wanted it to settle into, or that it settled into. Now I'm going to start tightening all the bolts. Right now they're snug is all. I'm going to torque them to proper spec. So I had gotten the car back together and I started jacking it up, and guess what? It started making popping noises. So I've got the jack set up here underneath the driver's side wheel, and I'm watching this to see if I can see the popping, and you can. There's a lot of slack in there. So I'm going to have to add washers again. So watch as I jack this up. Okay. Let me zoom in on it and let me lower it and try it again. Basically, there's a lot of movement in that bushing area. So there we go. Let me zoom in right there. Let me lower it if I can with one hand and keep this steady. Okay, so you hear the popping, right? So let me jack it up and watch that bushing area. So it's basically got a lot of movement in there. I'm moving it around too much for you to see, I think. But trust me, this thing is moving around maybe as much as a millimeter or something. So I'm going to have to add washers again to remove slack. Apparently this distance here isn't the same as the original. So I'm going to have to shim it up with some washers. Well, let me try that and see if I can get the popping to stop. Okay, I've got the washers in there. And I've got it tightened, but my torque wrench broke on me. I got to go ahead and get another one. So I've only got it tightened, but not completely torqued. I don't have the ability to torque it. So I'll finish this up tomorrow. But in the meantime, if I do my little test here, I raise it and lower it with the floor jack. The popping has stopped. So yes, I'm onto something. Also, I put some grease this time. See that gray or gold looking stuff? That's grease. I decided to grease that so that if it is moving around, it'll move freely and not make as much noise. So I'm going to have to do this to the other side, but I'll have to finish this tomorrow. Like I said, I don't have a torque wrench, and I will continue that tomorrow. So this is the next day. I tightened everything up this morning, and I just took the car for the first drive. It's been raining, so I was kind of like waiting for it to calm down. And it's doing better. I'm only hearing popping now on the passenger side. So I'm thinking that there is just some play, just like we saw on the driver's side. I think there must be some play on the left side. So maybe I'll add 1 or 2 more washers and see if that doesn't help. But yeah, doing better. So I'm happier now. I feel like it's more drivable. But not perfect. I will return and put more washers on that side in the future when I get some time, and I will maybe put another post, or maybe I'll just put a note in this video. So read the comments if you want to know if it works in the future. Thanks for watching the videos. I appreciate it. We're going to jack on the lower control arm first. So I'm ready when you are.
Recording's going.
Okay, so you're recording that area?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Underneath the bulb joint.
And we're listening for that popping noise.
Not yet. No popping yet. Okay, so no popping there, right?
Nothing.
Okay, and lower this down gently. We go to the subframe now. Oh, there's popping. Did you see anything move?
No.
Let's go right out there, I guess. This is the subframe. Okay, did you see anything?
Yeah, I saw it.
What popped? Did it look like it moved vertically?
The black thing above the washer's got a gap in it.
Now?
Yeah, look, you can see it if you look right now.
Awesome. That's what I need to know. That's what the popping noise is. So I need to just gap that up better, huh?
See, look, it's slightly uneven now.
Okay, let me lower it and keep an eye on it. I'm going to lower it so if the gap goes away. Did it?
No.
Okay, try it again. Still there?
It went away slightly, but
Okay, but the point is there's a gap that's moving.
yeah.
Okay, that's it. I need to figure. This is my last ditched effort to try to fix this. I put a big whopping thick washer and then also the 2 little washers in there to take up the slack. And I don't know. It looks like the slack is out of there with the floor jack testing, but it may still make noises while driving. I'm fixing to take it for a drive and finding out, and I will let you know. Very, very good. It's not perfect. I still hear a pop here and there, but much better than it was. I'm onto something. Now, the bolt on the passenger side, the front subframe bolt, was over torqued when my torque wrench broke yesterday, or 2 days ago, whenever it was, and that caused me to over torque that bolt. And as I was tightening it today, I noticed it was starting to give, so I wasn't able to get 80 foot-pounds on there. I might have gotten 40 or 50 only. So I need to replace that bolt, and that might be why I'm getting popping. So I need to get another bolt and hope that the frame nut is not stripped too. I don't think it is. I think those are much tougher than the bolts. So I need to do that. But as far as this video goes, I think we've diagnosed the problem. The aftermarket subframe bushings were about 1/4 inch shorter, and so the bolts weren't able to take up enough slack. It left slack in that subframe for it to move around. Now on this side, on the driver's side, I still want to put a large washer, and I'll do that when I replace the bolt on the other side. But I'm going to conclude that that's the problem. And even if it doesn't improve, this is acceptable. It's not bad at all right now. You only hear it when you're backing up and turning at the same time, basically. Normal road bumps and driving, I don't hear anything. So I'm happy with the result, and that's going to be the end of this video. If I figure out anything else, I'll make another video, but I think we've got it figured out at this point. Thanks for watching.